From the Packers taking the Super Bowl title back to Titletown, to Albert Pujols taking his talents out to LA. 2011 was a great sports year. We were here to cover it all on the Cash Line AC Sports Network, and here are some of the best moments.
Lombardi Trophy is coming back home to Titletown. Well, you guys got most of my thoughts last night. AC, what were your thoughts on this game?
One of the best Super Bowls I've seen in a while, and I think you would agree with that. It was a really a thrilling game. The Steelers tried to come back. It just ended up being too little, too late, in my opinion. They put on a charge, and like we always say, Big Ben's one of the most clutch in the game. He couldn't get it done. He wasn't communicating with his receivers very well, I guess, on that last drive. Something went wrong. Who knows? But the important thing is the Lombardi Trophy is coming back home to Titletown. 13 NFL championships, the most in history, and that's pretty amazing.
And it's happened, guys, and I mean, I saw this happening all along because I've looked at this case the entire year last year, and the owners are being greedy, and more greedy. NFL's going on strike, and this isn't just going to be a matter of them just sitting down in the middle of summer saying, geez, we missed training camp, we missed free agency, let's get something done. Because the owners aren't willing to do that. And then there's this thing, well, the players won't budge either. The players shouldn't budge if you look at what the players are asked to budge on. They should for that. So far, let's start at number 1. The Panthers have selected Auburn Heisman winning quarterback Cam Newton. Your town, your team, not our town or team, Dallas Mavericks have just swept the America's team, Los Angeles Lakers. So back to Kobe. I didn't see... He had 15, I believe, in the first half, so that means he had 2 points in the second half. He didn't even look like he wanted to try to make a comeback even when they were down. Nobody had any enthusiasm.
Yeah.
They all knew they were going to lose after the second half, and nobody wanted to even attempt a comeback.
Yeah, we'll get back. You know what, people? I sat here and I told you this entire playoffs. I believe from day one the Eastern Conference was wide open, and I probably thought the Celtics were going to win it. But after that first round, I knew 110% that the Miami Heat were going to win the Eastern Conference. One right. He can't hit a clutch shot? What did he do this entire Eastern Conference playoffs? Didn't LeBron James twice lead his team to overtime wins where he put the team on his back? Didn't he just block Derek Rose, step back like AI on Jordan, and hit the shot over Derek Rose? Didn't Derek Rose just... LeBron James did not play real good tonight. But when it counted, and when everyone likes to say he doesn't get it done, guess who got it done?
You could make the argument that the best player in myself and AC's lifetime has retired today, and that would be Shaq, the Big Shamrock, the Diesel, the Big Cactus, whatever you call them. It's really incredible to me, and I mean this is a testament to how good the Heat's defense is, that the Heat were even close last night. The Heat were able to keep it within 3. They lose 86-83 to the Dallas Mavericks. Series is now tied 2-2. LeBron James, let's get into this. Last night, 3 of 11 shooting, 0 of 3 from the 3 points. From 3-point land, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. I mean, it was just embarrassing the way you played.
Your team, your town, your Dallas Mavericks are the 2010-2011 NBA Finals champions.
The Mavericks basically, this is what I have in this whole series, the Mavericks played like a team. They played like a legitimate NBA squad. I mean, Jason Terry, Nowitzki played good except for the last game. They played and they worked together, and the Heat just looked overmatched in this series. With the exceptions of the games that they won, they looked completely overmatched, and I think they've got some work to do.
Fernando, we'll start with you. Who do you come down on in this series?
LeBron James. He just didn't have the spectacular points that everyone expected him to have. He had 63 points overall. He was outscored by Chris Bosh. He was outscored by Dwayne Wade. And Chalmers wasn't that far behind. He had 50. He was mentally on top the entire series.
Donovan, what'd you think, man?
Man, I definitely agree that LeBron didn't play his best. He should be scoring 25 a game like he usually does. But I think people really underrate the fact that Miami has been shooting like crap at the free throw line. I mean, when you lose close games by like 2-3 points, like the Miami Heat have throughout the series, you should definitely make your free throws, man. Miami, I think they're shooting around 65% from the line, so they definitely need to step it up from the free throw line when it's the playoffs. LeBron, he does deserve a lot of blame because, like Fernando said, he got outscored by Chris Bosh. But I think the whole team needs to be blamed as well for not making the free throw.
How you doing, man? It's Dan Sportsman.
I gotta ask your opinion about LeBron James and his comments the other day.
Who? Well, he's such a fraud. Let's be realistic. LeBron James, I've never seen a guy assassinate his own character within the course of less than a year the way that LeBron James did. And the icing on the cake was after he just lost the finals, mainly because he never showed up, instead of just sitting there lamenting as to his own faults in not winning and his responsibilities, he's going to call out the common folk because we live pathetic lives and don't make millions of dollars. Now, he's right. Most of us do live pathetic lives and have to get up for a 9-to-5 job, and we're never going to see remotely anywhere near the amount of money LeBron makes. But you don't say it.
Boston won the Stanley Cup by a score of 4-0. First of all, I've got to congratulate them. It's not my favorite. They're far from my favorite team. Actually, I absolutely hate that team because I'm from Montreal, and as we all know, Montreal and Boston have a huge rivalry in hockey. But I have to give credit where it's due, and Boston deserves full credit.
And if you don't know, now you can know. And Biggie Smalls would be proud of me. Robinson, don't you know, Cano, comes up with the home run derby to it. Basically, this is how it went. I mean, there were so many opportunities for the U.S. really to look at and say, well, they should have scored there. And I think that the U.S. even got some breaks because they seemed throughout the game to play a more physical game, almost to the point of being dirty sometimes, and they seemed to get away with it more in Japan. Also, in regulation, there was an offsides called on Japan that looked like they clearly would have scored there because they would have had a breakaway, and they got called offsides. That would be Japan, when really they were clearly onside.
Pumped, it is raining like hell outside, but I don't even care because I want some snow and I want some football. The NFL is back. Yo guys, what's going on? The Eagles signed Namdi Awesome wanted it.
Your town, your team, your Philadelphia Phillies go out and get the job done. Once again, Ruben Amaro makes a huge splash, trading 4 prospects, including Jonathan Singleton and Jared Kozart, who are probably going to be really good someday, but the Phillies' time is now, and going to get one of the best right-handed hitting outfielders in the game, Hunter Pence.
Now, Jim told me last night my favorite player of all time hit his 600th home run after hitting his 599th home run in his first at-bat.
And Tim Tebow, who took over for Kyle Orton late in that game yesterday, and really did not do as well as everyone's talking. I'm not really understanding why Broncos fans are so desperate to see this guy. I don't.
And many of us, I mean, for people to say this is the greatest game ever, I don't know, because of all the airs and everything through the first 8 or 9 innings, it looked like it was an easy win for the Rangers and they were going to win this series. The Cardinals get down by 2. They're down to the last strike in the 9th inning. David Freese ties it. In the 11th inning, or the 10th inning rather, they're down to their last strike. Berkman ties it. And then in the bottom of the 11th, David Freese steps up and we are going to a Game 7.
Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim. We got Justin and AC here. This is the Cash Kelly and AC Sports Report. And the St. Louis Cardinals, the Cardiac Cards, cap an improbable World Series run as they defeat the Texas Rangers 6-2 to win the 2011 World Series. And talking about the biggest story in the sports week, Joe Pa getting fired.
McQuarrie should have been held more responsible. I'll get to that. But the thing with Joe Pa is he's such an icon in the sport that for his entire career to end this way, I don't feel like he deserves it. Even
RG3 Robert Griffin III has been announced as the 77th Heisman winner.
Ryan Braun, the reigning NL MVP, has tested actually it came out today that he tested positive for a PED.
But the Miami Marlins clearly are taking a different approach. Already having signed Heath Bell in this free agency period, the Marlins come out and get arguably, I think, the third best guy on the free agent market behind Pujols and Prince Fielder, and that is shortstop Jose Reyes. And one of the biggest surprises of the 2011 sports year, to wrap it all up, Albert Pujols, a man who we all thought was headed back to the St. Louis Cardinals last night. When I woke up this morning, and I was sitting with AC and KJ in the one class we have, and we were on SI.com looking for an article because we needed it doesn't matter, we were looking at articles, and I clicked back to the homepage, and I just see breaking news, Albert Pujols signs with the Angels.
with the Packers' chances of going undefeated, the NBA lockout ending, and the new MLB deal with more instant replay and a longer All-Star break, 2012 promises to be an even better year than 2011, and we will be here covering it all. For Tim, KJ, and myself, I'm AC. This is the Cash Kelly and AC Sports Report.